So good morning everyone. Here are the group 5 to present the political caricatures of the American era by Alfred McCoy.
Hi, I'm Archaine Matugas and I'm here to give a brief background information about political caricatures of the American era by Alfred McCoy. Political cartoons and caricatures indeed represent a relatively recent evolution in the realm of artistic expression, departing from the conventional norms of classical art by adopting a style characterized by exaggeration and satire. This departure from traditional artistic conventions emerged as a response to the need for social and political commentary, particularly in the context of print media. Unlike more verbose forms of expression such as written editorials and opinion pieces, political cartoons have the distinct advantage of conveying complex ideas and critiques in a succinct and visually engaging manner. One of the defining features of political cartoons is their tendency to target individuals or groups in positions of power and authority. Through the use of exaggerated pictures and symbols, cartoonists are able to not only lampoon their subjects but also to highlight and critique their actions, policies, and character traits. This ability to distill complex political issues into easily digestible visual narratives has made political cartoons an indispensable tool for publicizing opinions. Moreover, political cartoons possess a unique ability to capture the imagination of their audience. By employing humor, irony, and symbolism, cartoonists are able to evoke strong emotional responses and provoke critical thinking in viewers. The exaggerated caricatures and witty captions used in political cartoons serve to both entertain and educate, making them a potent medium for engaging with complex social and political issues. In conclusion, political cartoons and caricatures represent a unique and valuable form of artistic expression that has played a significant role in shaping public discourse and political culture. Their ability to convey complex ideas in a visually compelling manner, as well as their capacity to provoke critical thinking and emotional responses, make them an essential subject of study for historians and scholars alike.
The authors of political caricatures of the American era are Alfred McCoy and Alfred Roces. Let's start with Alfred McCoy. Alfred McCoy was born on June 8, 1945 in Concord, Massachusetts. He is a professor of the Southeast Asian history at the University of Wisconsin at Madison, where he also serves as the director of the Center for Southeast Asian Studies. He spent the past quarter century writing about the politics and history of the opium trade. Alfred McCoy has spent the past 30 years writing about Southeast Asian history and politics. His publications include Philippine Cartoons, Anarchy of the Families, Closer Than Brothers, Manhood at the Philippine Military Academy, and Lives at the Margin. Dr. Alfred McCoy became exceptional since he is an esteemed historian and scholar whose expertise lies in the intersection of politics and visual culture, particularly political cartoons. His in-depth understanding of Philippine history and his meticulous analysis of political caricatures during the American colonial period provide invaluable insights into the socio-political dynamics of that era. Next is Alfredo Roces. Alfredo Roces was born on April 29, 1932 in Santa Cruz, Manila. Alfredo Reyes Roces is a gifted artist-writer from the known Roces clan in Philippine print media. He is the author of the latest book on the Roces family, Looking for Ling Ling, and National Book Awarding winning title, Felix Resurrection on Hidalgo and the Generation of 1972. Alfredo Roces became exceptional for his deep understanding and expertise in Philippine art and literature. His background provides valuable insights into the cultural context surrounding the political cartoons of the American era in the Philippines. Roces has been involved in various initiatives aimed at preserving Philippine heritage, including art, literature, and cultural traditions. His involvement in projects like Philippine cartoon contributes to the preservation and appreciation of this important aspect of Philippine history.
Brief description of the source. From the book, Philippine Cartoons, Political Caricatures of the American Era, 19,000 to 1941, created by Alfred McCoy, and published in 1985. A compilation of 377 cartoons that gives insight or opinion on the political happenings on American era in the Philippines. During that times, some Filipinos are using cartoons to express their opinion in the political happenings in the Philippines during the American era. It's almost the same as what Rizal has been doing in the Spanish colonial era, like the one he wrote, the novel. The book includes contributions from Alfred McCoy and Filipino artist-writer Alfredo Roces. The cartoons and essays in the book serves as primary source for understanding the historical and political context on that time. The book can be served as secondary source for anyone interested in history.
Moving on, onto the context analysis. The book Philippine Cartoons, Political Caricatures of the American Era provides a compilation of 377 editorial cartoons and caricatures created by Filipino artists during the American colonial period in the Philippines. It reflects the historical, social, and political conditions of the time, offering insights into how Filipinos viewed the changes brought by the Americans in the turbulent era. The cartoons cover a wide range of topics, including national attitudes towards the American presence, changing mores and times, and the social, cultural, and political implications of the Americans in the Philippines. Now, we're gonna talk about the historical context of the book.
The American colonial period in the Philippines commenced after the conclusion of the Spanish-American War in 1898. Following the Treaty of Paris, the Philippines was ceded by Spain to the United States, marking the beginning of the American rule. This colonial rule persisted until the Philippines gained independence in 1946. The historical backdrop includes the complex interactions between colonial powers, indigenous populations, and socio-political developments during this era. The next thing we're going to talk about is the transformations made in the Philippines under the American influence. The Americans brought about significant transformations in governments, society, and politics in the Philippines. Institutions were restructured, introducing American-style governance and legal system. Social and cultural norms underwent changes due to American cultural influences, education systems, and language. Economic structures were altered with the introduction of capitalist systems and the exploitation of the Philippines' resources for American interest. These changes deeply impacted Filipino lives, reshaping their identities and relationships within society. And that is all for the context analysis.
Hello! Good day everyone, good day viewers. I am Hilver Aglanao and I am going to share my insights and ideas, the content analysis about the political caricatures of the American era by Alfred McCoy. So, why do these caricatures matter? What relevance do they hold for our understanding of history? Let's proceed. So first, let's talk about what is caricature. Have you ever got an idea about these caricatures? Pag nakakita tayo ng mga ganun, magdidipik agad sa atin na, cartoon, mga ganun. May overview about these caricatures kasi it is a technique na ginagamit sa editorial. What I mean is editorial cartooning. Mostly, nakikita natin sa mga newspaper or sa ibang books, mga ganun. Ang itsura niya, exaggerated yung ulo, yun, to give emphasis sa message. During the transition of Spaniards to US colonization, umusbong yung ganitong way, yung caricature. Tapos doon, napansin ni McCoy yung ganitong way ng mga Filipinos, kaya ginawa niya yung kanyang, ganung yung akda niyang libro na yon. Bakit nga ba patok sa Pinoy yung ganitong way? Yun, simply because it's entertaining. Nakakapuha agad siya ng attention kasi nga cartoons. Madaling intindihin at makikita mo agad yung mensahe. Political cartoons. So this particular cartoon political caricature would something to convey about the American occupation here in the Philippines during the time of American era. We know that cartoons is a form of arts expressions. But remember, this art is not just an art expressionism. These are symbolic presentation of the American occupation to the Philippines. According to Nepomuceno, political cartoons have been around in the Philippines since Kalayaan and La Solidaridad were published. Lataran ito sa mga newspaper noon. Yung newspaper commentary, yun, a legitimate historical source supported ng mga official documents. The political caricatures by Alfred McCoy speaks about the American era. It reveals some truths about the Filipino conditions, the situation of the Philippines under American colonial, the social and political changes, and it also the cultural changes. Yan, nag-impluensya ito sa ating bansa sa kasaysayan at kultura, yun sa panahon ng American occupation sa Pilipinas. The transition to U.S. colonial rule in the Philippines. These political caricatures by Alfred McCoy plays a pivotal role in the understanding of the opinions of the Filipinos in the transition of Spain to U.S. governance. Filipinos thought that Uncle Sam or the U.S. was a savior who saved them from the Spaniards. And it is very relevant to the Philippine history because it is an evidence of his expression in those times. Using his caricature cartoon artworks, we were able to see what happened before. Next one is socio-economic class. The post-independence and the post-Filipino-American period in the Philippines were experienced differently by Filipinos coming from different classes. The upper class, which is yung mga mayayaman, the middle class is yung mga katamtaman o saktuan lang, and the lower class is yung mga mahihirap. And the upper principal class experience economic prosperity, which is the opening of the Philippine economy to the United States. Majority of the Filipinos remain poor, desperate, and victims of state repression. Yun, sa madaling sabi, yung socio-economic class, yung batayan o pangkat o katayuan ng tao sa lipunan batay sa kanilang yaman, edukasyon at trabaho. So I chose one famous caricature artwork of Alfred McCoy, and the title or context of this artwork is about why the Aparcero rebels. Based on the artwork, it shows the form of landlord usury. Usury means tubo. Yun. It is used to strip tenant farmers from their rightful share of harvest. Ito yung parang ng mga pangangamkam ng mga landlord o may-ari ng lupa sa pamamagitan ng pagpapahirap nila sa mga magsasaka upang bawi nila kanilang tamang bahagi o yung ani. Kahit grabe yung kanilang pinuho ng dugot pawis, kahit kaluguyan pa nila yun, basta makabawi sila.
Here are the implications of the source to our history. Number 1. Colonial influence and resistance. McCoy's analysis of political caricatures during the American era could offer insights into how visual media represented and influenced the dynamics of colonial rules in the Philippines. Caricatures may reflect both collaboration with colonial powers and resistance movements, providing a visual narrative of the complex social-political landscape. Number 2. Cultural impact of American occupation. Understanding the political caricatures of the American era in the Philippines can illuminate the cultural impact of American occupation. McCoy's work may highlight how this cartoon serves as a means of expressing Filipino perspectives on colonial governance, cultural clashes, and the struggle for independence. Number 3. Power dynamics and imperialism. McCoy's exploration is likely to delve into portrayal of power dynamics and imperialism within political cartoon. Analyzing these visuals can provide a nuanced understanding of how Filipinos perceived and responded to the imperialistic policies of the United States during this period. Number 4, representation of Filipino leaders. The source may shed light on how political caricatures depicted Filipino leaders and key figures in the fight for independence. Examining these representations can reveal the nuances of political relationships and the impact of leadership on the broader narrative of Philippine history. And lastly, number 5, social commentary and national identity. McCoy's work may emphasize how political cartoon serves as a form of social commentary, contributing to the shaping of Filipino national identity by decoding the symbols and messages within these caricatures. One can better grasp how they influenced public opinion and contributed to the broader historical narrative of the Philippines during the